Oh, come on, where are you? Here I'm back in New York. Not sure what happens to internet in New York. Good afternoon, Tony Dottino, doing my Live with Tony broadcast from New York. And this drives me a little bit crazy because I find that the internet service in the residence I stay at here is not quite as good as the internet service in my home in Windermere, Florida. But let me give this a go. I'm going to try to do this a little bit shorter. I'll be here for about a month. My other half has got some surgery that she's doing for her hip, and I want to be here for that surgery and her recovery. So bear with me during these next few weeks. And we do have the USA Memory Championship moving along, which is exciting. So we've got some good things going on with that. But let me quickly get to the things. I was reading a fantastic article in Science Focus magazine. Science Focus is a publication put out by the BBC of England. And I'm reading an article on 10 things that we can do to maintain our health. And it happens to support a lot of what we've been talking about in terms of our mental and physical health as well. So let's go through them quickly. Escape to green space. So one of the things they talk about is the importance of finding green space, walking in the woods, listening to a stream, smelling the aroma that trees give off, and just being in green space, and what a difference that it makes to our overall mental health. The second one, take an early morning walk. I was really surprised that they're talking about you got your 10,000 steps a day, but a purposeful walk is more important, and it really changes your whole day. It changes your hormones, and this was done by Tokyo University of Science, and it also talks about helping. An early morning walk will help insomnia sufferers. So here's what they recommend: 100 steps in a minute. So I've never stopped to count. Now I run 4 times a week, so I haven't started counting my steps in a 1 minute run. But they recommend here in this study done at Tokyo is 100 steps a minute. And if you can get to 120, a study involving people found that getting a move on when you walk can boost effectiveness of your thinking and your cardiovascular health and diseases. So wow, 120 steps per minute. Forget about the 10,000 steps in a day. Eat some bacteria. This was an interesting piece of the article. As you're aware, your body is a home to a teeming mass of other species, including bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Evidence is mounting that your personal microbiome can have major implications on your health, so feeding it the right stuff is essential. And they recommend sauerkraut, kimchi, and kefir, controlled brew of microorganisms which break down carbohydrates and turn them into other chemicals. So here we go, sauerkraut, kimchi, and Kefir. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that well. So eating some of the right foods. Learning a new skill. My goodness, we've talked about this. Learning new skills. It always become a learner. Yes, it sounds like the kind of thing your uncle would post on a media, but maybe, just maybe, your uncle is a neuroscientist. Learning new skills is a well-established way of boosting your brain power and slowing mental decline. And we talk about that in learning memory skills as much as you can. Stand on one leg. We're moving along here. Stand on one leg. What they're discovering, one of the main rotten things about getting older is we sometimes lose the ability to make choices about the movements we make. We can get stiffer or slower, develop arthritis or inner ear issues. What this discusses is basically just learn how to exercise and balance. So just insulin sensitivity, blood pressure, and heart issues can and often do follow. So learn how to balance. Stand on one leg for some period. I'm just trying to see what period. Tai Chi, racket sports, anything that asks you to change direction, control your body in different planes is ideal. Do them often, mix them up, and keep your brain guessing. Studies have linked improved balance with better bone health, lower risk of stroke, and a lower risk of all causes of mortality. Wow. We keep on going. This is another one. Take a cold shower. God, who the heck wants to get up and take a cold shower? But my goodness, this is the one that's going to take. A cold shower is close to a textbook definition of a rude awakening, but forcing yourself under a jet of icy water will do more than blow away the cobwebs. There's growing evidence that cold water immersion is not only good for your immune system, but improves your mental health and even protects your brain from neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. A cold shower. Now, the only thing I got to point out here, 45 seconds or under is enough. With cold water, it seems to be a skin effect. If you hang too long, it gets in your tissues, and that is not good. So a cold shower, 45 seconds. You may want to bring a timer with you. Next, do some press-ups. Now we're going to talk about exercise. The importance of doing some type of physical exercise. And again, you don't need to go to the gym and be a weightlifter for doing this one. Drop and give us 20, well, maybe it's 40, but it doesn't matter. At Harvard Medical School, they found that men who could do 40 press-ups had a 96% lower risk of cardiovascular disease than those that do 10 or less. So, I don't know how many you can get to, but start with 5 and then get to 10. And the goal here is, let's see if we can get to 20 or 40. If press-ups are not your thing, try squats. Not only do they build muscle, but a study last year by the University of Southern California suggested you could help stave off obesity, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes if you squat or kneel instead of sitting. The study looked at a tribe who live in Tasmania. They squat instead of sitting, and despite resting for the same amount of time as we do, their incidence of diseases is much lower. So that's another simple one. Instead of press-ups, you don't want to do squat. Take a breath. Breathing makes you live longer. Doesn't sound like a groundbreaking discovery, but how we breathe is subject of a growing fascination for wellness converts and a bona fide biomedical research. This one basically recommends 4-2-4. Breathe in. Hold it for breathe in 4 seconds, hold it for 2, and breathe out for 4. 4-2-4. Breathe in, counting to 4, hold it for 2, and breathe out for 4. It's also known as the 4-6. You can simply breathe in for 4 and breathe out. And I do it and wake up in the morning, which often helps me and becomes very soothing, says the researcher on that. So now we've got a cold shower, we've done some workouts and things, and then we're going to take a breath. So now comes the conflict. We're going to take a cold shower for 45 seconds, but now we're going to take a hot bath. Lots of people indulge in an occasional bath to unwind, but studies suggest it should be a regular habit. Osaka University attracted 30,000 adults over 29 years and found that daily baths are associated with 28% reduced risk of heart disease and can reduce the risk of stroke. A team of University of Texas at Austin found that it can help you fall asleep 10 minutes sooner than you otherwise might. But take a bath 90 minutes before bedtime. 90 minutes before bedtime. So not right before bedtime. Now why? Because it brings your temperature up, and over the 90 minutes, your body starts to drop its temperature, which is what it does during your sleep, and off you go into a nice restful sleep. And last but not least, count your blessings. Count your blessings. It is difficult, 18 months, but finding reasons to be grateful could help our mental health and more. Besides, research, including others, has shown that people who have more of a grateful mindset tend to be more resistant to issues with anxiety and depression, even when they're living with a chronic health condition. And this comes from the University of Sheffield, and people who invest in being grateful enjoy better sleep because they have fewer negative thoughts before they go to bed. This is what we call our gig. Garbage in, garbage will grow. Good in, good will grow. Greatness in, greatness grows. And that is something I have studied for years, and what a difference it makes in people's lives. So there's my 10 things. I thought this was a really nice, it was really concise. It really talked in quick little bites. It gave you 10 different things that you can do. And I always say to people, you don't need to do all 10 at once. You can do a couple at a time. Do one a week. It doesn't matter. So if you want to work on getting out into the green space and listen to a stream, find some running water somewhere, look at some trees and the flowers on them and the birds that may be flying around them, and taking care of that. The early morning walk, who thinks about getting up in the morning and taking a walk? And I gave you guidance on that, 100 to 120 steps in a minute. So don't worry about the 10,000. Get out there for a bit. When you can walk, it boosts effectiveness by 20 to 50% and a reduction in cardiovascular disease and helps in mental health. Eating your right bacteria, boy, this is a good one. I love sauerkraut, so I'm a big sauerkraut person. Kimchi and Kefir, I guess that's pronounced kefir, helps with your microorganisms. Learn a new skill. We talk about that all the time. Balance on one leg. Taking the cold shower has a big impact on your skin. Do some physical exercise. And if you want to do press-ups, just squat. Watch TV 5 minutes and just be in a squat position. Get your breathing down. That's 4-2-4. 4 in, 2 seconds hold, and 4 out. And then take a hot bath, and then close it. Count your blessings. That is my Live with Tony on Monday evening here from New York. I'm in Larchmont, New York, which is about 30 minutes above New York City.